Hi, today I'll be reacting to my subscribers' opinions, so let's get started. 1. Most K-pop fans' most rated company is YG, but actually for me, from all the companies, I prefer HYBE. I don't love the company, but actually only thing they need is vocal training. They give minor idol protected clothes. Even their music was so good and highly chance to get popular. And also they don't give very high diet for idols that much. I disagree. Firstly, people love YG because their favorite girl groups come from there and are very successful, so they think YG is the best. I agree they are definitely not the best, especially considering I heard that Young Hyun-suk did some shady things. However, I would not say HYBE is any better. Firstly, they need vocal training, but they also insanely need rap training because it's insane how their 4th and 5th gen groups can barely rap, except maybe Boy Next Door, and I'm being very generous. Furthermore, you said that they give minor idols protected clothes just because you saw Yoonchae wearing longer shorts and Elite wearing long clothes due to their concept, but here you're excluding all they did to Eunchae. Girl was twerking and wearing short clothes when she was a minor. Also, Yoonchae is twerking even though she's a minor, and it's not because she has longer shorts that predators won't look at her shaking all that in gnarly. Also, do you remember how most of NewJeans were minors and forced to sing about a boy coming to look at their cookie? I know it's Adore, but it's still under HYBE and they shouldn't have let this song happen. Now, HYBE do have good music and good strategies to make their group successful, but do we forget how Unhypen are being worked to the bones? They just released Bad Desire and now they're already dropping a Japanese single and are going on a 5th world tour or something. How does that make HYBE a better company? SM is starting to do the same with aespa and it's worrying. And Bang Si-hyuk isn't any better than Lee Soo-man or Young Hyun-suk. About the diet, you don't know. You say this, but you genuinely don't know. It's true that their idols aren't living what Vicha or Momo went through, but do you not remember the extreme workout Le Seraphim had to do when being trainees? It's not about food, but it's about physical exhaustion. I did that workout many times and it always kills me. So just imagine having to do it twice a day while not eating that much sugar, going to school and taking dance classes. That's not a healthy diet, even if they're not as restricted on food as HYBE entertainment idols. So I know this is your opinion, but I do hope that I made you see that even though HYBE get their group successful, it's not all sunshine and roses. It's as hard as any company. It's just less bad than some companies, but it's still terrible. 2. I would rather that my favorite idol in a group get less lines but lines that suit her or him than just having equal line distribution with the rest. Obviously, I don't think it's okay when one member gets like 10 seconds and the rest get 50-40. But I think that when it comes to those smaller differences like 10-15 seconds, it's a lot more important for the members to get parts that suit them and will make them sound good than trying to force them to do parts that just aren't right for them and their voices. I completely agree. It's insane how people get so defensive over how idols who clearly cannot sing get little lines. Being a K-pop idol isn't only about singing. If a member is not good at singing, then it's normal that they get less lines. Take Momo of Twice. She has a very unpleasant tone and cannot sing, so she gets very little lines. But she's not mistreated. She literally gets insane dance breaks. Have you all forgotten about her solo dance break in Likey? She can't sing, but she can dance, then make her dance. I agree that having 40 seconds differences like Everglow or Le Seraphim is wild, but if someone like Shuhua gets one line like in Han alone, there is a reason. Actually, one day I saw someone complaining that Minji of NewJeans only got her line in Hurt very late into the song. She got the second chorus, which starts at 2 minutes and 8 seconds, considering the song only lasts 2 minutes and 57 seconds. And someone replied to them that this is a reason why the song sounds so good and it's because she comes in late. I thought it was kind of mean, but when you think about it, even though Minji has a pretty voice, she's not a trained vocalist and she's more of a dancer, like most of NewJeans by the way, but that's not the topic. So giving the less good vocalist less lines makes sense. Of course, when it's Liz of HYBE getting only one line in Kitsch, that is truly unfair considering she's the best vocalist of the group and has a much more pleasant tone than Gaul and Issa. But when Monstees cry that Ruka only got 9 seconds and like that when the song is mostly vocal based and Ruka is a rapper, it's purely overdramatic. Besides, Ruka has already gotten to shine a lot in battle rap and now she even got a duo with Aza. So yeah, all this to say, companies know what they're doing with line distribution, and people would not enjoy these songs as much if members who can't sing or rap got parts that didn't suit them. See how Mocha struggled with Magnetic? Well, she got a line that didn't suit her and ended up getting hate. This proves that sometimes it's better to get less lines, just like Sakura in Hot. 3. My opinion about YG New Monsters. I don't want them to debut in 5th gen, as like the members are too young. And didn't Baby Monster just debut? I mean, not just, but it's recent, and yeah, YG should focus on the groups he has right now. Like, bro, give Blackpink and Treasure a good comeback album. I completely agree. First, yes, they are way too young. Chania is like 14 years old. I know it's common to see idols debuting at that age, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't call it out. She needs to go to school, to train more, to live before debuting. She's barely even a teenager. And I wouldn't be surprised if the two members who aren't revealed yet were extremely young too. And as you said, Baby Monster just debuted. Well, it's been a year and a half, but they're still in their first years, and debuting another group would take the spotlight away from them, which is unfair and not smart. They should wait until at least 2026 or 2027 before debuting that new group. Besides, as you said, YG should focus on their current groups, because what do you mean they only released Jump after 2 years of Blackpink hiatus? Not only is the song underwhelming and feels rushed, but that's way too little content for the massive fame of Blackpink. If YG needs money, then they should release an album, because we know damn well how much Blinks are willing to buy albums, and there's also the world tour. Treasure also deserve better promotions. It's definitely not the time to create a new group. Also, the way they are only revealing 2 members now will only backfire on the 2 other members, as they won't grow a fan base as strong during debut, and we'll get a Lisa and Jennie versus Rosé and Jisoo situation in terms of fame. So YG, please take care of your idols and don't debut these girls just yet. 4. Rora isn't underrated. She gets praise for her vocals and visual. She's one of the most overrated members in my opinion. This situation is complicated. Rora is both underrated and overrated. First, let's set things. She's a vocalist with a beautiful voice, and she's for sure a very talented and beautiful idol and teenager. Now the thing is that she's in Baby Monster, as you know. And that group, like any YG group, is filled with solo stans, but also filled with toxic K-pop fans. Rora and the whole group get overpraised by Monsties in general. Their fans call Aza and Ruka the best rappers and dancers of 5th gen. They call Rami, Ahyun and Rora the best vocalists of 5th gen, and you know how it goes. They give vocal chairs that are far from the truth, and they suffer from inferiority complex. So in that sense, yes, Rora gets overrated a lot for her vocals, as they say she is C or C+. The most delusional ones even say she's B-, aka the above average tier. She would also get overrated a lot when they would say she was top 2 or top 1 in Baby Monster in vocals, and above Chiquita, which was false for a very long time. Now she improved and is indeed the second best vocalist in Baby Monster, but it wasn't the case before. However, I want to bring some nuance into this. People call her underrated because the toxic Ahyun stans say Ahyun is a better vocalist than Chiquita and Rora, which is false. So Rora fans feel like she is being slept on. And that is also due to Ahyun getting all the high notes and even Farida, while Rora gets nothing and she gets less lines. That is why I understand why people call her underrated, because she's here with a better and healthier singing technique than Ahyun, but only gets to showcase her vocals when Rami is on hiatus. However, Rora is overrated like the whole group in general by their fan base compared to other acts. So basically, Rora is overrated compared to other idols, but underrated compared to her members. And this is also the case with her stage presence. It's important to get that in order to understand why she's both underrated and overrated. 5. Bad Villain are underrated. Insane lineup, good songs, just promotions suck. I agree. It's such a shame. Bad Villain debuted a year ago and they had some momentum. They got millions of views, currently 49 million views on their debut music video, and they went viral for their Isaac performance, for having 2 of the best dancers in K-pop, for having Yoonso and HYBE from survival shows, for Kelly's visuals. They have the talent with 4 talented vocalists, an insane dance line and a solid rap line, and good stage presence. Their debut stood out, and they were also praised during Hurricane. Then they came back in November with Zoom, which did not perform as well as their debut, but if it had been followed by an album, they could have earned that momentum back. But nope. All they've been posting for 7 months is shorts and long videos on their channel. No performance in festivals except Asia 2025, no comeback, nothing. It's such a shame because BPM have been growing in popularity for being the company of big acts like Taemin and BVs, and Bad Villain had popularity and songs that stood out, but the lack of promotions and music is already destroying them. They're one of the most talented groups in 5th gen, but their company is doing them dirty, and that's such a shame considering BPM was seen as one of the best companies. But hey, if the members are happy, that's all that matters, but we need a comeback and more live performances, please. Bonus opinion, good thing is better than Klaxon, and I will be eating up bad music until the day I die. Period. People need to stop calling music bad just because they don't like it. Also, yes, good thing is better than Klaxon. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. I reacted to less opinions because I had more things to say on each opinion, so I didn't want the video to be too long, so I reacted to less opinions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and have a good day.
Dear Dumb and Dumb.